Hello explorers of your inner universe, my name is Anaya and on this channel we explore psychology and work on our personal growth together. Today we're looking behind the impeccable facade. We're talking about Charlotte York, the woman who seems to have gotten everything from life that a good girl dreams of. A prosperous upbringing, a career in the arts, a life on Park Avenue, and ultimately the perfect family. So, why does her story so often leave a feeling of something light yet bitterly unresolved, as if this perfect world is missing air? In our previous analysis, we explored Samantha's neuroses and Carrie's chaos. Today, it's a turn of the most proper of the four, and her analysis is perhaps the most painful for many of us because in her pursuit of perfection, we might recognize ourselves.
How many cocktails did she have?
A couple? Why?
Hi, honey. It's me. I went to see the doctor today.
Charlotte is a product of a system, a prosperous, respectable system, but one that is ruthless in its expectations. From childhood, she wasn't just a daughter, she was a family project.
Charlotte, keep your back straight. Charlotte, play the piano. Charlotte, be the best.
Her sense of self was formed not around the question, who am I, but around the directive, who must I be to be loved and approved. Psychologists call this introjection, when someone else's rules and expectations from parents or society are expected as one's own without criticism. Inside such a person lives not a human, but an incredibly strict internal censor, and this censor will guide her entire life, from choosing a dress to choosing a husband.
Wait a second. You've got a very obvious pattern, you know.
I do? What? Tell me.
You wait for a perfect guy to ask you on a perfect date.
And when he does, you project this huge fantasy on him, setting up these enormous expectations.
Which promptly blow up in your pretty little face.
You put all your deviled eggs in one basket, so to speak.
That's a horrible pattern. Well,
Charlotte executed her first major goal, the perfect marriage, brilliantly. Trey McDougal was the embodiment of her dream, an aristocrat, a doctor, a gentleman. But this marriage became a trap created by her own perfectionism. The problem wasn't just his impotence, which was undoubtedly psychogenic. The problem was the Madonna-Whore complex they created together.
Look at me. This is me. I'm not a Madonna and I'm not a whore. I'm your wife. And I'm sexual and I love you.
For Trey, Charlotte was an immaculate Madonna on a pedestal, not to be defiled by ordinary passionate sexuality. And Charlotte herself, raised in puritanical traditions, subconsciously supported this dynamic. Her inner censor whispered, "Good girls don't act like that." But the real tragedy on this marriage was revealed in her relationship with his mother Bunny. Here Charlotte faced not just a difficult mother-in-law, but a symbiotic bond where the mother occupied the place of the wife. Trey was an eternal boy for his mother, and Charlotte, with all her willpower, lost this war. Her perfect world showed its first crack. And then fate, in the form of an awkward, balding, sweaty Jewish lover named Harry Goldenblatt, offers Charlotte a deal. You can have the perfect picture or real happiness. Choose. Harry was everything her internal censor rejected. He was imperfect, he was rough around the edges, he broke all her rules, but in him was a sincerity and passion absent from her polished to a shine life. Their conflict isn't just an argument, it's a clash of two realities. The artificial one Charlotte had been building for years and the living, chaotic, genuine one embodied by Harry.
I can't believe that men think it takes all this stuff to get a woman into bed.
What does it take? Charlotte,
What?
I think you are the sexiest woman I ever met.
Harry! Don't be ridiculous. I'm wearing my glasses.
It makes me crazy when you say my name.
Well, then I'm definitely gonna stop saying it.
When he yelled at her, it was perhaps the first time anyone had ever spoken to her authentically. without regarding for her perfection. And that sobered her up. Having gotten Harry and children, Charlotte seemed to have reached the pinnacle of her dream. Family became her overvalued idea, the meaning of her existence. But here awaits the most subtle and sad point of our analysis. Pay attention to her motherhood. Yes, she is a caring, responsible mother, but where is the joy, lightness? It often seems she isn't so much living with the children as managing a project called the perfect family. Even the adopted daughter from China and the daughter questioning her gender, as shown in the new series, are perceived as a part of this complex, yet flawless family portrait. Her world remains controlled, even when filled with children's laughter. Deep emotional connection, the ability to immerse oneself in the chaos of feelings, all of this is still replaced by the flawless execution of a role. And now the toughest question. Why is it so hard to truly be friends with such a woman? Beautiful, successful, respectable. Remember the key scene when Carrie went bankrupt and the friends offered her money. Everyone except Charlotte.
That is really, really sweet of you two to offer. It's really, really sweet, but I'm gonna do this on my own.
Her phrase,
Gary, I love you, but it's not my job to fix your finances.
was absolutely logical and inhumanly cold. At that moment, Charlotte wasn't speaking to a friend, but to a rule breaker who threatened the order of the world. The narcissistic injury received in childhood made her a master at creating facades, but robbed her of depth and empathy. She doesn't need others' tragedies, others' pain, others' imperfections that's threatened to her fragile, perfect reality. You can discuss outfits and etiquette with her, but not existential fears. She is a brilliant snow queen in whose kingdom everything is beautiful, but where you cannot get warm. So who was she? Charlotte York. A victim of a system, a hypocrite, a cold, calculating snow queen. By the end of the series, we saw her final form. And I see something more profound. I see a woman of unwavering willpower. She is a person who faced with the impossibility of being her true self, because that self had been replaced by a template, made a monumental decision. She would build her own version of happiness, brick by brick, according to the only blueprint she knew. But her true victory wasn't in that construction of that perfect life on Park Avenue. Her victory was in the moment she allowed herself to shatter that very blueprint. Letting the imperfect, loud, and sincere Harry into her world was an act of rebellion against her own internal censor. Choosing adoption, navigating motherhood, with a child questioning her identity, these were not just plot points. They were departures from the script, a testament to her capacity for growth and adaptation. Her final lesson for us is not a call of perfection, but a reminder: the most beautiful and durable structure you can build is the one that allows you to breathe, to feel, and to connect, flaws and all. What do you think? Did Charlotte's journey resonate with you? What is your take on her ultimate happily ending? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to give me a thumb up and subscribe the channel. Also, if you are interested in the psychology on the other heroines, watch our analysis about Samantha Jones and about Mr. Big and Carrie's relationships and why he chose Natasha. Until next time, explorers, keep questioning and keep growing. Love you. Bye.